Let's go through Protean's toolbars. At the top, we have our File, Edit, View, and Tools menus. The File dropdown is pretty much the same as your tool buttons here. Edit has the copy and paste functions and undo, as well as copy from file and enclose tool and clay. Oh, enclose clay and tool, sorry. And copy from file is really interesting. This is probably the best way to upgrade the resolution of your files. I can select this, and I'm going to grab this T clay model of Gizmo00. This was made in small, and if I wanted to take this file into a higher resolution, all I would do is go to New, select Large. So now I'm at a large resolution. Go to Edit, Copy from File, select this file. Now what this does is it will make the copy within the tool. So this actually doesn't exist within the world. I have to paste it first. So let's increase the size. Paste. Larger resolution takes slower. Takes more time and works slower. So now we're in a large res. So this was made in the small preset, and now we're in the large preset. So, oops, copy, just clear that. So now I can go in, and because I have more resolution, I can work and add more detail to this model. And since it's a high resolution, with my computer, I have to work more to change the shape. So one way to really solidify your shape is to increase resolution. It's less likely for you to lose what shape you have, since you have to do more work to change it. So it's really good to actually smooth and work with the surface of that shape and not have to worry about destroying the shape itself. View. The view drop-down works with the side menus over here. So I can hide those altogether and have a full viewport. I can also pop out these menus, and whatever one I have highlighted or active, it will pop that one out. Hitting X will put it back on the side menu. Tools, I can measure distance. Wherever I click, it'll measure between two distances. I can right click on this, measurement, edit, and I can type in what distance I want. I can define my distance right here. So if I measure another distance on this model, it'll concur with whatever I put in here. So let's make this default as our 1 meter unit. I can change these, but it doesn't do anything yet. So it's gonna stay meters. So if I want to edit this in any way or delete it, I just mouse over this to make sure it's highlighted. Right click, measurement. I can insert, edit, or delete. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, let's go through our buttons here. So this is new. Clicking on this brings up a dialog, and we have our presets for our resolutions, ranging from very small to very large. Default is large, but if you want to start out, I would work in medium or small. This resolution here is the resolution of our bounding box. So right now these are all the same, so it's a cube. If I want to quickly redefine the shape of the cube, the resolution, I can just go in here and oops, type that in, and it'll take care of all of those. But if I want to make a unique shape, I can just put each value in on its own. Block size refers to the actual clay. The larger the block size, the more detail you have, and number of voxels. The clay is made up of voxels, so this shows the overall size. We have something with very large is absolutely huge, so that's going to run really slow. And if we drop down to very small, we have a smaller number. Next is save. You save as T-clay. This is export. When you click on this, you have another dialog. You can export at full 100% or use the slider to determine what percentage of triangles you want to reduce the size overall. And then when you hit OK, then you save as an STL or an OBJ. And then open. Open opens your T-clays. The next group is your operations. So whenever you see this red line, it means there's a drop-down menu. So here we have all our operations. Next we have our blending modes. Next are the tool shapes. And then right here is a toggle for our mirror mode. Oops. Put on add first. We're in large, so it's running a little bit slow. If I change this to small, whenever you change your resolution, you'll lose whatever you're working on. So make sure you save. You won't be prompted to. So now we're running much faster. You can see what I'm doing with the mirror mode. We have our snaps. Snap to clay. So when I don't have any snaps on, I'm just moving on this grid. If I want to change where my tool moves, I have to move the grid. But if I just want to move along the surface, I can just use this, snap to clay, and then I'll snap to the clay and I'll move along the surface and I can use my operations on that. Next is snap to grid. What this does is it will snap to every intersection on the grid here. Okay, so right now I'm on the surface and I'm snapped to it so I can move around the clay. But if you notice, the axes within the tool are staying oriented to the world. If I want to use, say, a cube tool, if I move around, the cube doesn't move. But what if I want the cube to move? That's when I hit orient to gradient continuously. And now you can see the axes and the tool will orient to the surface of the clay. So I can move the tool separate from the pivot. So I can move it out here, and then if I go back to the pivot and then rotate, you'll see I can rotate the tool around the pivot. Now, there's going to be times when you're going to be working and you don't want to move the pivot beyond the surface of the tool if you want to get precise rotations. So in order to better facilitate that, we can lock the tool to the pivot. So when we go into pivot object or tool object mode, we can move the tool around, but it's locked. It can't go beyond where the pivot is.